What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the Hold That Thought podcast, where we do the exact opposite. I'm your host of Barbecue, and today we have a very special guest for episode 19, Classivibes. You go ahead and give them your intro and let them know how it is, bro.
What's up, everybody? My name is Classivibes. I stream on Twitch, which is twitch.tv/Classivibes. And thanks for letting me be here, bro. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem, man. No problem. You're the honorary second official guest on here, man. So that's awesome. I appreciate you coming through. So let's just hop into the quick bits and get started. I don't have much for quick bits, so as you can see with your notes, all I have is that the CDC has finally fully advised that if you're fully vaccinated, you don't have to wear a mask into buildings or in certain situations you can wear a mask, but mostly you don't have to wear one if you're fully vaccinated. So what do you feel about that? Do you think you're still gonna be wearing a mask?
Yeah, most likely. I feel like I'm still gonna wear a mask for real.
Yeah.
Extra hand sanitizer and everything.
I feel it. Same here. I think this should be the new normal, because a lot of other places do it. I personally am going to wear a mask for a while I'm just traveling and going places, especially the airport and whatnot, because the airports are already dirty.
This should have been a thing.
Yeah, it should have been a thing a while ago. Yeah. But yeah, are you fully vaccinated yet?
No.
Or are you going to get vaccinated?
No.
Yeah, I mean that's totally fine. I am, but I'm still gonna wear a mask even if I am or not. So it's I got the Pfizer vaccine. It's not bad. A lot of people are scared about the side effects, but I've felt completely fine. But yeah, I don't judge people if they don't. I mean, I could totally understand it, but it's interesting that they even said that, because a lot of people already don't wear a mask. So it's crazy that they're just oh, you don't have to wear one at all.
What I felt like, just in general, the reason we should have been wearing one, because people are so used to traveling a lot, and you can spread other bacteria when you're traveling on the plane and stuff. I felt like that should have been a thing.
Yeah.
But we just never did it, or went around to it till now.
I totally agree. That's really all I have for quick bits. We have a lot of stuff to talk about in the gaming section, so we'll move on to that. Recently Mass Effect the Legendary Edition came out. Honestly, I'm not a big Mass Effect fan. I haven't played any of the games, but a lot of people are really loving the trilogy remastered on, I think, the PS5 and the Xbox. Have you ever played any of the Mass Effect games?
I have not. My first console was a PS4.
Oh, wow, that's crazy.
That
is crazy. I never just got into it at all. This came out in 2007. Apparently it's a really good game. It's like a skill tree type. You can choose your own adventure and choose the story with a point and click and stuff, but I've never got into it. It's apparently one of the best games, but maybe it's my chance to pick it up and play it remastered. We'll see. I feel like you know more about this next story. Call of Duty Warzone bans 500,000 cheaters in their servers. So that's really interesting that they have to ban that many people on their platforms or servers. Have you ran into a lot in Warzone?
Not this season. I have not yet, because I haven't been playing as much until recent.
Yeah.
But I haven't really ran into any of them that. I've ran into a couple back then, but not as of now. I think it's a really good idea, because all they need is a good anti-cheat. That's literally all they need.
Yeah.
All they need.
How do you feel that you think Apex should do somewhat of the same thing? If they're bragging about how many people they've kicked out, I think Apex needs to get on it too, because we got a lot of cheaters on our side too, if you know that.
I feel like Apex needs another hideout.
Yeah. But
they're just not able to find one yet. So they're just trying to still look, in my opinion, on that.
I agree. I totally agree. Hopefully Respawn can figure something out, because there are quite a bit of cheaters in the game. I see, everybody knows, if you play Apex, you know, when it feels like a server's about to get DDoSed and everything just goes to shit and you can't really play. So that's hopefully Apex does something like that. I haven't been into Warzone in a while, because every time it tries to murder my computer, but it's a good game. I enjoy it, but Apex is still my top BR right now. Speaking of Apex, let's hop into the next conversation, which is Season 9. And let's get your first takes or opinions on Season 9. What do you think about it?
Season 9 I feel like it's the second best season.
Oh, okay. What do you think is the first?
Season 3 is my favorite season by far. Season 3 was just the map design, the coloring, the audio, just overall the balance of the game. The only thing you really had to worry about in season 3 was honestly dashboarding and rank. But besides that, season 3 was probably one of my favorite seasons because you were still able to zip lines, movement, all that. Season 9 is really good as well, just because of how much things they changed in the game. And overall, the new character is really good as well. She's balanced.
Do you play with Valkyrie a lot? Valkyrie's the new character, if y'all don't know.
I have not tried Valkyrie. I've tried Valk, but I haven't tried. I don't play her as much because I'm a movement player, so I like wall jumping and stuff. So her like tactical, which is she's able to like launch up a little bit with her rockets. They affect me for being able to wall jump, so I don't really play her like that, but she is really a good character in my opinion for rotating.
That's really good that you bring that up, because like I've been watching you, like your growth on like PC and like how you've gone from like you've increased your gameplay skills so much. Like I don't tell you that much, but you really are like so much of a better player. Like not to like say you were trash or anything when you started, but like you've gotten so much better with your movement and just being on keyboard and everything since I've been watching you, since we've met each other.
I appreciate that. It definitely it was tough because there were days where I wanted to switch back to the controller. And then I was like, nah, I can't do it. And then what was funny was my brother actually, he had my scuff for one night and it fell out the window.
Oh my God.
And it broke. So we're just like, all right, well, I guess I gotta stick with this. And then it just keeps coming into play.
I guess with when it comes to like mouse and keyboard, I feel like you really have to stick to it. Like you'll have urges to go back to controller, because I've even tried to go to mouse and keyboard a few times and I'm just like, man, I miss controller too much to even want to do this.
Mouse and keyboard is for people who have time, first off, because not everybody is going to have time to actually put into wanting to learn mouse and keyboard. And you just gotta want it. There's gotta be a reason. For me, I just felt this was like when I even played Fortnite, I told myself I was gonna be better on an MK before I even got on it, before I even thought I was gonna have a PC. I just always felt like I was gonna be better. And it really worked out.
Yeah, it did. It really shows in like your movement and everything. What character are you mostly playing right now?
I main Wraith still. I'm trying to hit 10K with her since I switched, so that's the plan on that. Sometimes I'll play Pathfinder because it feels good to be able to play him again. I mained him on PS4. It feels good to play him again, but usually Wraith.
I forgot you started on PS4 too.
Damn. Wraith.
We both made the move over to PC.
And sometimes Octane even. So it just depends, but mostly Wraith.
Gotcha. How you feel about the bow, the new bow check gun?
I really love the bow. The bow.
It has some connection issues. Technical difficulties. We'll be right back when we figure out what's going on. All right, after the technical difficulties, we are back. We apologize for that. But back to where we were. We're talking about the bow check. Yeah,
the bow. Like I said, the bow is probably one of my favorite guns in the game, and I like what they did with the nerf. The nerf was really good. And the bow is just a type of skill set gun, just like the wingman. You just have to
agree.
It just puts it out of any other category in Apex, in my opinion.
Agreed. Like I've been noticing a lot of streamers who are well versed with the wingman have gone to really like the bow check, and I see a lot of people struggling with it who aren't really good with the wingman. I was like, it kind of makes sense. They kind of go hand in hand, to be honest. But it's a good weapon. I'm kind of actually glad they added it, because it adds a different element to the game.
It's something new. I just feel like the past season's just been really stale with like content. So bringing this weapon in has helped out like a lot, in my opinion.
Agreed. All right, now the new mode, arenas. How do you feel about that?
I love arenas. I only play it a little bit, but arenas is amazing in my opinion. I can't wait for rank mode to come in to arenas. They need a penalty. Add it to people that leave the game right now in a pub. because it's a 3v3. Like
Yeah.
if your team lose, they lose. Like stop trying to, leave the game, start a new one just because your teammates are, are not doing good.
Exactly.
And another thing I will always suggest is if you play arena mode, always have a full squad, because arena solos, it's not a problem, but you have to remember the way the matchmaking is, you're not always going to get solo players that are on your skill set.
Yes.
So you have to just be cautious when you are playing the game mode, because after all, it is a 3v3 and it's only 3 of you against the 3 next to them. So
agreed. Like we saw a lot of that with the little bit we played yesterday. Like that was the first time I've seen like another team didn't even show up to the arena mode, and y'all were saying that people do this all the time where y'all fight 2 or maybe even 1 person, and that's crazy to me to have that happen, and like you be that 1 person fighting against all 3. It's just crazy. They do need some kind of penalty for it. I don't think you should just be able to leave that when it's so important.
That's one pub, and like for instance pubs, I don't think you need to. A penalty on pubs should not happen. At the end of the day, it's a pub. But that is different than pubs, because you're putting yourself against people, only against one team. It's not even like you're going against another team or a team that you could third party. It's literally a skill set of who can win their 1v1s and who has the better position. There's no need for you to leave if you went in there.
For sure. Like it kind of reminds me, that's why when I think the arena mode came out, everybody was like, oh, Apex is coming for every other game. Even like Rogue Company, if you look at that game where you play Strikeout and it's 4v4, if one person leaves, you are screwed. You are really screwed. And I think even in that game, in their pubs, if you leave that, you have a penalty like 10 minutes. So
that's crazy.
Yeah, hopefully they don't do nothing that crazy, but like something should be implemented where you can't just leave the middle of the game. Yeah, so with season 9 out, where do you see the future of Apex going? Do you think it goes uphill from here, or you think it goes down?
Well, I honestly think Apex is going up. The only thing that honestly can stop Apex from going up if they don't listen to the community. Yeah.
That's exactly what I thought you were gonna say. Yeah.
Besides that, Apex is on the way of going up. But like I said, if they don't listen to the community, then it's gonna be like Fortnite. When Fortnite run the mechs in, everybody quit that season, except for the people that like actually love the game till it's, till it's bread. The one that made the money off the game.
That's exactly when I left Fortnite. When they came out with season 2, I was just like, okay, I'm done with this game.
That's when I left as well.
Yep. I've reached my maximum capacity with this game. They've changed so much. It's just not the same game anymore. They changed the maps. They added bots and all that stuff. I was just like, okay, I'm done with this game. And hopefully Apex listens to their community, which they've been pretty good with in the past. Like, hopefully they could just keep it up and still be one of the best BRs out right now.
I feel like the only thing that will also make them, like, people leave is if the lack of content. Like, I've been switching to Warzone just because there's more content that I can make on Warzone. There's not a lot of content you can make on Apex besides, dropping 20s and all that. But that, at the end of the day, I realized that doesn't really mean anything, because if you're a content creator, you want to see content. With me, I'm more of an entertainer / sweaty or whatever people call me, and I make my my content off of entertaining. So when I can't entertain when there's no content to be given besides trolling randoms, and that even gets old at some point. So I feel like more content and no more legends that are based on camping as well. I feel like
for sure.
Another thing that will get people not enjoying the game, if they have another version of Caustic or something, that will probably be legit, because Caustic, like I say, is a good character, but it's annoying when you have to go against him because how most players play him. I've been I was a Caustic main from like season whenever he came out to like now, and I'm just like I finally like stopped playing Caustic because I understand how toxic he is. But like I've just now moved on to Revenant, and he's like somewhat of a campy character too if you just like pop his ultimate over and over again. But maybe I just like characters like that. Maybe I'm just a villain. I'm a demon inside. But hopefully Respawn stays focused on Apex and doesn't try to make a Titanfall 3, because a lot of people are asking for a Titanfall 3. But with Apex being so doing so good right now, like I couldn't see them moving on from Apex and just leaving it to dry now. I don't think they would. But
Yeah.
that doesn't mean I'm not saying it wouldn't happen, because Titanfall 3, that does sound fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It does sound fun, but I hope not.
Mm-hmm.
Because if that happens, then people are just going to switch to Titanfall 3.
Yeah. Titanfall 2 had a resurgence right now, right? Like for a little bit, and because they had a free weekend so everybody could play it. So they had a big resurgence. So maybe that's trying to get more attention back to Titanfall as a series. But hopefully we just stay with Apex. Or if they want to make a Titanfall, hopefully not everybody just leaves for it. But hey, it's totally a possibility. Do you think Apex is the best BR right now? Because you kind of hinted at it with your answer earlier.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It definitely is. Just the reason I say that, and it's like no disrespect to Warzone or Fortnite or PUBG, but Apex movement is probably one of the best movement mechanics that you can learn. And a lot of reasons why people hate the game is because they don't understand the movement mechanics.
Facts.
And that's why a lot of people actually don't improve, because the game takes aim, but if you can move, if you have movement and positioning, you'll win a gunfight. Exactly. Literally 99% of the time, even if you have bad aim, just because of your movement and your positioning.
For sure. And like that's one thing that you improved on as well. Like just improve your movement, like and everything else will really come after. So that's something I'm still working on right now. That is enough of the Apex talk. We talked about that for like 10 minutes, but it's such a good game, man. If you're not playing it, it's free right now. Go check it out if you haven't already. So back in more gaming news, PS5 has released the pre-orders for their black and red controllers. Let me pull it up so y'all can see what I'm talking about. Do you have a PS5 yet?
Do not.
Yeah. So I think it's so crazy that they're releasing this with the pre-orders and people still can't get a PS5. Like, it's so crazy.
Bots, man.
Right.
Bots getting them.
Yeah, I was so lucky to get one. I never thought it would happen. I just got really lucky on Walmart one day. But like, they're releasing these pre-orders for these these controllers look sexy as hell, but $70 for a console that you can't even get, but you can get new controllers if you want. That's so crazy to me. And they're already talking about making a PS5 Pro too, so that.
Oh my goodness, bro.
So we'll see how that goes. I'm not gonna pre-order one because I really don't need, because there's nothing to play on the PS5, to be honest.
Yep.
There's nothing to play on it. So if you're still like out here itching to try to get a PS5, you're not missing out on anything. Like, all I've played on it is Spider-Man Miles Morales. That's the only game I've fully beaten on it so far. But they do have Ratchet & Clank coming out soon, so that'll probably be another game I'll pick up. In other news, these are the free PSN games for May. Let me know if you think any of these games sound interesting. Let me pull up this article right here. So the free games for PlayStation for the month of May consist of I haven't even heard of any of these games. Wreckfast Hard Drive is for PS5. Battlefield 5, but that's for PS4. That's a good game that I would take advantage of if you can. It's what I wish Battlefield was still as relevant as it was with like Call of Duty and whatnot, but 5 is still a good game. I enjoyed 5. Stranded Deep is for PS4, and that is it for the month of May for PS4 and 5 games. Now let's hop into the Xbox games, which we all know Xbox ain't got no games, but actually I don't have the link on here because they don't have any games, so it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. So you can go check out the free Xbox games if you want. They had some, I saw it earlier, they had some games, nothing too great, but they have some. So go check out the Xbox Live Store, Steam, Origin, and other platforms to check out your free games for the month of May. Now let's move on to the media section. So we talked about this yesterday a little bit. The new J. Cole album. How do you feel about it?
I give it a 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. That's a glowing review from Classivibes.
Yeah, that was a good project. When the world needed him most, he was here. You know what I'm saying? So that was really good.
He came out like the Avatar, like Angel.
Yeah, right. Like he didn't vanish. He just came back.
Right. Facts.
But nah, it was amazing. It was amazing.
For me personally, I've only listened to it one time so far. I'm gonna listen to it again probably after this podcast recording. I'm gonna go listen to it again. But from what I've heard, I've really enjoyed it. I've heard some people say it wasn't their favorite project by him, but yeah, I think you really just need to sit down and listen to the lyrics, and even some of his the production on the album is really good. I was just like, how can y'all not mess with this? Some of the production is so good on that.
A lot of people now just don't understand lyric. They're not lyrically. They don't like that in music anymore. Cause no offense, you got the Lil Uzis, you got the the
Playboy
Cardi, Playboy Cardi. People like that type of music, which there's nothing wrong with it, because that's a different side of hip hop. But when you're talking about a lyrical side of hip hop, you should never like worry about the beat. You always listen to the lyrics.
Yeah, exactly.
Because J. Cole, honestly, is in my top 10 of all time.
Yeah.
So I put him and Kendrick 9 and 10. That's my like top 10. But yeah, that album was awesome.
I think it was a great project. It's very unexpected. I honestly did not think he was going to drop this year. I really didn't think he was going to drop anything.
I thought we were going to have another crappy year of music. I was like, yeah, let's go.
Me too. But I'm really happy he dropped something. Hopefully more of the Dreamville crew drops some more albums or projects this year, because Revenge of the Dreamers is really good. Nicki Minaj album or mixtape. How do you feel about that one, if you even listen to it?
Only song I like is the one with Lil Wayne and Drake.
The first song. That first song was fire, man. Like,
bro, like I didn't like Lil Wayne verse at first because I didn't finish it, because he did that ba da 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 like boom boom or whatever, he did that little ad lib. I was like, oh no, this is not Wayne. Then I went back. And then my homie was like, hey, bro, listen to it again, please. I was like, all right, so I went back, and then I was like, damn, this is Wayne. Yeah. And like Nicki, I don't like Nicki in general. Not saying her music's trash. I'm just saying
it's not for you. It's not for you. Yeah.
But she actually she was spitting. She was spitting. And Drake, it just felt good to have an old Drake. It felt like old Drake.
Yes.
And if old Drake is good on the new album, then old Drake is gonna be is gonna be a good album.
Certified Lover Boy is gonna be a problem in the music industry. It's gonna take over the charts.
It's literally gonna the thing about Drake is that he already put himself out there as one of the best. And like when he continues to make more music, it just gets better. I just wish, hopefully he doesn't get into the new age of like the music wave like he did with a couple songs. If he doesn't do that, he'll be vibing. Yeah, but that's Drake's things a lot of time. He like gets on the new waves and try to make it his own. But if he could just go back to just being classic him, we say that about a lot of artists like old Kanye, old Cole, all that. But if Drake could literally just go into his old bag and like give us a classic that we deserve, then I think his new album will be really good. Predicting that this album is going to be like Take Care and Nothing Was the Same, because those are probably his best albums he ever made.
Yep, I totally agree with that.
Those are my favorite albums.
I like how the topic was Nicki Minaj, but we totally went to Drake. But hey, I actually listened to the whole thing. It's really like a mixtape. She took a lot of old songs and I don't know if she made new verses for them, because she has some new references. But like some of those songs, like Itty Bitty Piggy, like that was her first, like one of her first songs. It's weird that she put that on album, like her newest album.
I know it was old when the title was Chirac featuring G Herbo.
Yes.
We ain't heard a Chirac song since like middle school.
Yeah.
So it's just like, okay, it's definitely old.
Yeah, it just felt like a mixtape, or songs that she's been sitting on for a long time. She's like, I'm gonna just make some money off of these since I'm featured on the song. So that was interesting. Did anybody else drop? Those are the only two I can really think of.
Migos dropped too.
Really? Did you listen to that?
Dropped. I think they dropped a single. It felt good. I'm glad that Quavo got his heart broken, because that man was spitting on that song. So if Takeoff is still underrated Migos. Yeah. Like always, we always say that. And no, it was just a single. It was just a single, but Takeoff did his thing like always, and it felt good to have Quavo back.
Yeah. I'm just happy that they're still together as a group, to be honest.
Oh yeah.
Like a lot of groups don't last that long. Yeah.
They're cousins. Yeah. So
that probably makes their bond a lot stronger, because like a lot of groups would have been dissipated by now, went solo. But they're still together. I like it.
Your grandma go beat them.
Yeah.
Y'all better stop being like that.
All right. So next in the media section, that was the music portion. Any TV or anime you're watching right now?
Twitch.
Twitch? That's all you're watching?
Yeah, bro. It's just, I don't know, bro. I just, like, I was on Black Clover,
Mm-hmm.
and then I was on, like I said, Jujutsu Kaisen. But it's
Yeah.
crazy because before the hype of Jujutsu, I was watching it. Then I
Mhm.
stopped watching it, and now I'm just like,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
with Black Clover, I'm on episode 9, but I
Mhm.
just don't have like, I don't like taking days off, so I just be playing
got
the
you.
game and watching other people.
I got you. But did you watch Invincible though?
Yes, I did actually.
Oh
okay,
my God.
Okay, listen, I'm on episode. I didn't finish watching it, but I'm on episode 7, and I didn't think it was that good, but that shit is amazing.
Yeah.
But what pisses me off is that I have to go to my homie's house to watch it because I'm not gonna spoil it because you don't know if people are watching it. But the first episode,
oh my God,
made me like, why did he do that?
Yeah.
And my homie was like, it's in episode 8. I'm like, can we just like go to episode 8 then? So I gotta rewatch it. But that show, it was nothing that I expected. It's actually funny too. Yeah. It's actually really funny.
You know, it's funny. Like the way I got introduced to the show is I was just scrolling down Twitter and somebody played that scene from episode 1. Like it was a clip of that fight, and I was just like, "What is happening?" I was just intrigued by then, and then I watched the whole show. Man, it's such
I thought it was
a
a parody, bro. I thought it was a parody.
Me too, kinda. Me too.
Like for instance, Batman.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, people just gotta watch it if they have the Prime, man. Yeah. If they have the Prime, go check it out for sure.
Yeah. But for everything else I've been watching, I was watching Boruto. I'm catching up on One Punch Man. I just started Castlevania. I'm still trying to finish Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I don't know that I'm so slow at trying to finish the show. I'm just not interested that much, honestly.
I feel that.
Yeah, but
One Punch Man, I saw I remember One Punch Man in 11th grade because there was this anime nerd that in high school, and before I didn't even know what anime was. You know what I'm saying? He showed me, and I was like, "Yo, this is funny." And we ended up finishing it in our personal finance class. I was in 11th grade. It took them till now to put out another season.
Wow, that's so crazy. That's so
2016 crazy. Was when I watched One Punch Man.
Oh my God.
And I think it's funny because like back then, anime like was weird to me. Like if you watch anime, you did the Naruto run in the hallways and shit. I'm like, yo, you good, bro? But in reality, that's just the other. You don't claim those sides. Apparently, I've been told. You don't claim the Naruto runners. So.
Oh God, yeah. But that's pretty much all I've been watching. And movies, I watched the Mortal Kombat movie, and that's pretty much the last movie I've watched. Honestly, I haven't been really watching anything else. But
I heard that movie was amazing.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. I even did a review on my channel. Go check it out if y'all haven't already. But yeah, it's really good. It's way better than the 90s movies. Way better to me, in my opinion. But honestly, that's why I said in my review, I went into it with low expectations because people were expecting it to be like a Marvel level type movie. I was just like, y'all got to come into it with low expectations. This is not Marvel, but it was a good movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it. The fighting was really good. Next up, we're gonna hop into the life portion. Anything going on in your life, in the life of Classy?
Nothing. I go to sleep. I stream and I go to sleep again, and I get sun when I can.
I feel it. I used to be on that wave, man. You gotta keep up that grind, man. Streaming is a grind. We'll get into that in the topic. But for me, this week I had a week off of work, so it's been nice. That's why I've been streaming so damn much. I've been playing Batman Arkham Knight on my stream. If y'all want to come through and check that out, I'll probably be streaming that today. And I'm planning on vacation to Disney, hopefully in October, if we can get that settled out. But that's all that's going on in my life, man. Just been grinding, and let's hop into the topic, which is pretty much what we've been talking about, like tiptoeing around all day. Is pretty much just the life of a streamer, man. Let me get your background on when you started streaming or how you got into this.
It's funny. I got into streaming in 2000, I believe, like 17. I got introduced to it in 2017.
Yeah.
By one of my homies, and that was the year I got my first console, which was a PS4. Fortnite came out, that came out. Apex came out around that time as well. And I believe I started streaming in like February. But it was funny because at the time I didn't have internet, and I didn't know like you need good internet to stream at the time. So I used to use my mobile hotspot, the stream. So that's how I started my like streaming journey. I started on mobile hotspot on a coffee table with the flat screen TV that I still use to, you know, watch TV with in the same PS4.
Wow.
So I started off that. I hit affiliate, and then like I've been full time. I would say I've been full time since COVID.
Nice. That's so COVID. Your journey is so crazy and so much different than mine.
That it's unexpected.
Like, yeah, and it, like the stuff that was coming out around the time you started streaming. I know there was a big boom when Fortnite was like first starting off to pop off, but like a lot of streams came that time. But that's so crazy that you were coming like out of high school, you said, and like all that stuff was happening. I was just none of that stuff. That was so far in the future for me when I was out of high school.
It was funny because it was so unexpected for me to even be streaming. That's why I always felt like this was something I was supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Because I was a janitor. Like I was a janitor, you know, working, you know, every week, not even getting paid a lot. And to like us being able to have internet where we're from. Because where we're from, Verizon internet is really bad. Like they scam the hell out of you. Like my mom used to pay like 130, 180 for like 0.8 gigabytes of like it was so bad. Like it was so bad. And then one day I was working as a doing my job, and they were having a town meeting or a council meeting, and I overheard them talking about letting the fiber internet become a thing now, because at first it was only there for the fire companies, the school systems, all that. And then I got to there, and then I heard it, and I was like, oh man, this is a chance. So I told my dad, and then we finally got it, and like he finally got it like in December, and we didn't get it installed till like October of the next year. February was when he paid it. We got it installed October, and I came back streaming in October 27th was when I came back streaming, because my birthday was the next day, obviously. So I came back streaming then, and then and we started on Fortnite because we used to stream Apex at the time when the game came out, and Apex was one of my first FPS games ever. Like I ain't touching nothing because I was sick as a kid, so I didn't get to experience all the the gaming shit. But I started on Apex, left, went to Fortnite, and came back to Apex around like season 4, season 5 maybe was when we went back to Apex, because Fortnite at the time was it was over after that point for me. Like you just burnt yourself out to where you don't want to play the game anymore.
Yeah, that's. And a lot of y'all know my story when it comes to that. Like, it's so much different. Like, I started off as a Facebook streamer on playing Super Smash Bros. And Fortnite. And I rarely touch either of those games anymore. Like, as a streamer, I feel like somewhat you need to adapt, really, to what's going on in the current space. And I think we both did that in our careers at some point. Like, going to like just the most popular game isn't always the best choice. Sometimes you have to make that decision. Like right now, I just make decisions on what I just enjoy doing, and that's why I'm playing Batman. But when it comes to the struggles of streaming, have you had any major ones? Like when it comes to family time, friends, or anything?
Yes, all of those. Family time is like non-existent when you're a streamer sometimes, because when you're streaming at least like 4 to 5 hours. Even if you're streaming 4 hours, that's still taking time away. And I realized also as a streamer, you don't want to, if you're new in the streaming game, you just don't stream longer than 4 hours. But we'll get in that. But
that's really good advice though.
Family time is definitely like declined because all my effort and entertaining has to go into streaming, because this is my only income for right now. So I have to put it all into it, and it's something I just really love. I just love being entertaining, and being able to play video games is amazing, but being able to make a difference, make people smile, and then be able to entertain is like the one thing. But social life, friends, my friends, I don't really hang out with my friends as much, just because they're married and they have kids and they all like moved. So I only have one friend still that is around here, but we don't really hang out as much as we used to because of streaming, and just they have a life as well. Relationships, that's not existent. Where I'm from, a lot of females, they don't want that. So there's it all.
Yeah, you did. There's so many interesting points. I wish I took notes of everything that you said. Like the first thing is like when it comes to just entertaining people, like it's such a good feeling. I personally love it. Like entertaining, making people laugh. Like, I really do enjoy doing that, and that's one thing that streaming is really good for. If you like to try to entertain people or do any of that stuff, and you feel like you're somewhat of a creative mind, like, this is the perfect place for you.
1,000%.
Yeah.
1,000%. Because I used to, in high school, 11th grade, I got into drama. And my homies got me into it. I was like, man, I don't want to do that shit. They're like, bro, you're a class clown.
Yeah.
Like, you make people laugh, bro. Just do it. And then I got into it, and then I loved it. And then I actually started acting. And then, like, the only class I ever passed in college was my personal, like, public speaking.
Yeah.
And it was funny because it was on a hip-hop topic. Like, 3 hip-hop artists that, you know, changed the game or whatever. Literally, I improv the whole thing on a flashcard because I was just too lazy. I just didn't like, college just wasn't for me. Improv it was my first ever A I ever got in college. Was in public speaking.
I loved my public speaking class. It was.
I didn't like the woman. The woman was really mean, but she had one of those like snotty, like Cruella DeVille looking attitudes, and I wasn't for it. You know what I'm saying? So,
my class. I don't want to get too much into college. 'Cause I feel like I talk about college every podcast. But like my class for public speaking was so fun, just because he like gave us creative control. We like had to be in a debate sort of, and we like had to make like a 15-minute debate around whatever topic. One topic was like how to pick up girls, and like we had a debate on that, and it was so funny. But another thing that you said earlier is like making time for family. That's something like I've been doing this for 2 years, but that's something I've had to learn the hard way. Like I have to make time for even my marriage and like family. Like I tried my best. Like even yesterday I streamed for like 2 hours in the middle of the day. I make sure my wife is good and make sure if I can go see my family, I'll try to go do that. That's something that it doesn't seem important, but you do have to focus on that sometimes.
At the end of the day, like I always say, you only live once.
Yep.
And they only live once. So when I started realizing that, because I lost a lot of family members in the beginning of the year, when I started realizing that, I started taking time to actually like hang out. So I didn't see my grandma prior to that for like almost a year. And I saw her. I haven't seen her in a minute again, but I need to go see her. But it's just proves that you have to sometimes, some days you just gotta chill with them, you know? Like when I try to make a schedule where I at least have one day where I can at least chill with them. You know what I mean? And then when I'm done with streaming, I go down there and talk to them, make sure they're okay, have to check on them, see how their day was, and then come right back up and start the back doing what I'm doing. I feel like the biggest problem with, like you said, with the creativity is just the editing aspect of things in the Twitch and like streaming in general. It's probably one of the trickiest things I trying to learn in general.
Yeah. And that goes into the next question. Like, what have you learned while streaming? Like, did you have to teach yourself a lot? Like, what are the biggest lessons that you've taken away from streaming?
The biggest lesson I've taken away from streaming is that you're not guaranteed anything. Some people in this, or I was like this in the beginning. You think you're funny, you know, you're entertaining, and you wonder why you're not getting viewers and stuff. And people, and you just gotta understand, if you're new, you just gotta, it's a grind. Like this streaming stuff is actually only 0.2% people make it as a streamer. That's literally the same as an actor. You can make it in the NBA before you can make it as a streamer or an entertainer. So you just have to realize, like, and just keep going. And the people that like give up and quit, that could have been your shot too. You never know. You just never know, because there's been times I know people that quit streaming and gave up on everything, and they really had potential to be really good at it, but they just were like, I wasn't getting the interaction. I literally had 1 to 3 viewers till this year. It's like, honestly, it's just a grind. You have to just like put yourself out there more. You just have to be like entertaining. You don't have to be, and a lot of people are like, I gotta be good at the game to make it. No, you don't. You don't have to. You just gotta be an entertaining person, and there's a community for everybody. There is people out there for everybody.
You just have to find them. You just have to find them, and they have to find your content too. And
that's probably the hardest part, is just people finding you.
And you gotta get your name out there. You gotta network. You gotta talk to these other people that you like as well, like, to get your name out there. And don't do it in like an annoying, harassing way to another streamer, because that happens all the time. But like,
I get DMs of like people saying, "Thank you for following me. Will you please follow my channel?" No, that's not how you do it.
Don't do that. Do not do that. I get that all the time, and it's so annoying. It makes me not want to watch your content, honestly. Like if I enjoy it, I'm gonna find it eventually.
Yeah. And the thing in the beginning of streaming, everybody does it. You can't say you didn't do follow for follow in the beginning of streaming, because
a lot of people did.
Everybody did. I did it at one point as well in the beginning, but then when you realize the benefits of it, it's not worth it. You just gotta actually put the time in. And just put the time in and just keep working hard. The thing is, streaming is like a marathon. You just gotta take baby steps and just try new things. I'm actually starting to do that now, because I thought that I only need to be set on one game and that my community was only around the one game, but in reality I made a community around myself and who I am, so it doesn't matter what game I play. Powerful. And another thing, you just gotta know that the people that are watching are human. Not everybody can be to your stream, so you're gonna have that's why they're gonna have you're gonna have up months and down months, because not everybody's gonna be able to sub and not everybody's gonna be able to watch you. It's how life is. They're human. So when your numbers start going down, just don't worry about it. Just keep grinding and turn your viewer count off too. Facts. That helps out a lot, because you don't worry about who's in your stream, who's watching you. Then you can actually be yourself. I still turn my viewer count off to this day. I don't have it on at all. It's no need. That's something I recently got into, and you have so much better streams when you turn it off. Trust me. Like, I know you want to see how many people are there, but just trust me, just turn it off, and it's so much better. And like, the Pat will let you know regardless. They're gonna let you know. Man, ain't nobody. Why you only got like one viewer in here, bro? Oh, nice. I didn't even fucking know it. Thank you. Thanks for letting me know. Thanks, man. Something that you hit on earlier, man. Like I'm in the same boat. Like since I started, man, there's been so many people who I thought they're gonna make it in this industry. They're gonna make it streaming, and then they just stop. Because they're not seeing what they want to see, and it's also just because they do think it's a sprint. They're like, oh, I see this person reaching this type of success this fast, but you don't know what they put into the background, like the work that they put in, and they just give up because they don't get that immediate gratification, and it's just sad because like if you just put your time into it, you probably could have been great. There's been times where I even wanted to quit, but I don't quit, so it doesn't, my mentality is if I really want something, I'm not going to stop until it's reached. Thanks. And a lot of people think that, people don't understand that any dream that you're chasing is going to take time, so you really shouldn't be worried about the future goal. You need to worry about the present, because the present is where you're at now. The future is where you want to be, but you can't really be focusing on that. You got to be focusing on the present tense of where you're at, because it makes you more like understanding, like you got to take it day by day, because you're not guaranteed day by day. So you have to take it day by day of just doing the little things. Like say you have a bad day. All right, well, you got to tell yourself that tomorrow is going to be better, and then you're going to make it better, and then tomorrow will be better, because you're not guaranteed tomorrow. So that's what I think a lot of people don't understand as well, is that they're so worried. I was even like this till recently. They're so worried about the future that they're not really worried about where they're at now and how much they actually done compared to a lot of people now, and they should really be thankful for where they come, because there are a lot of people that been streaming for 3 years and still haven't hit an affiliate. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen that before. So you just have to take that in and just understand you don't know what goes on in the background. And sometimes people do, I wouldn't even say luck, sometimes people are in the right moment, right time, and right category when that changes their life. Like, if we want to bring up big examples of this, I think Ninja's like rise to fame just happened at the right time. Like, I think he was gonna blow up either way, but the fact that Fortnite came around and like he just happened to be there and one of the biggest streamers at that time, like that's what excelled his career. Like things like that take luck too. Like that's something that you can't control. 1000%. And sometimes you just gotta trust your gut. Like there's been times where I wanted to just fully stop playing Apex and go straight to Warzone, just by like a gut feeling. Because I always, like I said, Warzone was technically my first COD, like MW, and I was really good at it. So, and I was like, all right, maybe I should do this. But in reality, I felt like I wanted to stop playing it because I was never seeing improvement in Apex. But in reality, I was. I just was so hard on myself because a lot of things, what we do is we compare ourselves to another player that we watch. So therefore, when we're not dropping what they're dropping, it gets in our head. And when I realized that was one of my problems, I stopped I stopped and I was like, all right, this actually happened last week because I was gonna actually stop playing Apex.
Mm-hmm.
I stopped and I was like, all right, what am I doing? You know, I want to improve. I want to do this. I want to do that. And yeah, so what I do now, because I want to be good in both the games I want, like I want to main in, you know, Apex and Warzone. So what I'm doing now is I'm doing 3 hours on Apex, 3 hours on Warzone. You know what I'm saying? And during those times, if I get people to watch me, okay, fine. Because at the end of the day, a lot of people don't like Warzone, and a lot of my community is based off the Apex community. But in my mind, I want to get better. So I'd rather, you know, take the risk of losing viewers to get better in a game that I actually enjoy. Because I enjoy Warzone. A lot of people don't really enjoy it because of like the camping and the, you know, the cheater aspect. But the Warzone is actually a pretty chill game. Like if Apex didn't come out, I would probably been main in Warzone.
Oh, I'd be on Warzone for sure if Apex was
exactly.
Yeah.
But with that Apex, I just want to get better as like a skill player. In Warzone, I just want to get better just because I want to be able to one day be good enough to like you know, play wagers and actually win money. You know, so that's a big thing.
And something I'll say, guys, is like, this doesn't even have to be like a Twitch thing. It's just life. Your biggest enemy is up here in your head, bro. Like everything, like a lot of the things that you go through in life, or just when it comes to this situation, just like streaming in general, like your biggest enemy really sometimes is yourself. You can psych yourself out of maybe a great opportunity or just something in that nature. Like you need to listen to your gut sometimes, like, and stop being scared of what could possibly be and try to make what you want up here, you know?
That's why, and I always say that as well, because I stayed full-time because I believe that I can be a full-time streamer. And you, like I always say, you only live once. So I'd rather chase a dream while I'm at the age that I'm at right now, you know, have the down low moments while I'm here to understand and learn from the experience that I had, than when I get older and I'm all like on my deathbed and I regret not doing the things I enjoy. So I think that's another thing people need to realize in their work time is that, first you shouldn't stay at somewhere. You shouldn't stay at a workplace where you're constantly getting, you know, bickered at. I feel like nobody deserves to be talked to any type of way over a check. You know what I'm saying? And another thing, you just gotta remember that your life is not guaranteed. Any day you wake up is a gift. Because you're not guaranteed it at all. So I feel like that's another thing people need to understand as well.
This man's spitting. So yeah, I totally agree with all that, man. I totally agree. Next up, like, where do you want to go as a streamer? Where do you see yourself being as a streamer in the future?
I'm not gonna lie, and I say this out of confidence and just believing in myself. I feel like I will be up there with like the Tim the Tatmans and the Nick Mercs one day. In the future. Like I really see that. Because
if you don't see yourself up there, like why else are you doing this, you know?
To make a difference, honestly, bro. And I just do it for the enjoyment of entertaining. I just love entertaining. And people are like, people think that, you know, I do it, people would think that you do it for the money. But in reality, if you come to my stream, I never once talk about anybody subbing, or you can sub to the channel. And it really helps because I am a full-time streamer and I don't make a lot, but I enjoy what I do. And that's what people don't understand. If you're happy at what you're doing, that's all that matters at the end of the day. You shouldn't be miserable doing something you don't enjoy. So if if it doesn't happen, then it is what it is. But at the end of the day, if you believe in yourself and you have the confidence in your abilities and you just don't listen to what people tell you, it will happen. Because there's a lot of people that went from being broke to being rich just by not listening to what people were saying and just getting out of the negative atmosphere of what that was surrounded by them.
And so at the end of the day, at least you tried. Like if things don't work out, this goes for anybody. Like at least you tried. Like I'd rather say I tried than look back on my life and be like, damn, I should have took that opportunity.
Exactly. That's what I always say as well. I'd rather say that, hey, I did this instead of saying, hey, I regret not doing this.
Facts. All right. Last question, man. Mental health. Do you do anything to help out? Do you like take days off, or do you do anything to help out with like the stresses of streaming and whatnot?
Mental health and streaming is actually is up there in my opinion with sports mental health. I agree with that. Just because, bro, like people don't understand is that you're entertaining people on the internet. people troll on the internet. People don't give a ass about you on the internet, and it will do anything to make you feel bad on the internet. So mental health is a thing, and that's why I say you shouldn't be streaming anything longer than, if you want to stream longer than, stream 6 hours even. But 8 hours I don't believe is a healthy thing, because I used to stream when I was on PS4 10 hours a day, 10 hours plus.
I was there with you streaming Fortnite all day.
That got my mental really bad. I actually got burnt out of the game. So mental health is really important. Go outside. The sun is probably the most like vitamin D. Sun is actually vitamin D. Very beneficial and helpful for you. So I would say and when you have days when you're just feeling low, just remember why you're doing this. Take a step back and vibe. You just gotta vibe. Because there are going to be days where you feel like you're not going to make it, or you feel like, you're a shitty, content creator. But in reality, that's when your mind takes over. And the more you are able to be one with yourself and love yourself, I think the more it helps with your mental health. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people, this is from my point of view, in my opinion, a lot of people I feel like deal with mental health differently. I deal with it with confidence, a lot of self-confidence and issues. But the moment you sit back and like, I love myself type shit, it goes away. Because in your power that you're stronger than what your mind tells you. So it's just one of those things.
Facts.
People have to look out.
That was said perfectly, dude. Like I can't even add anything to that. So, all right, that's gonna be the end of the show, man. Let's give them your Twitch plugs or whatever else you got going on right now.
Well, I'm live every day but Sundays and Saturdays at twitch.tv/Classivibes. My Twitter is Classivibes. My TikTok Classivibes. Anything Classivibes is me. We just try to have a good time and we groove with it. So yeah. Awesome.
I'll link all that down below if you guys want to go check them out. Be sure to do that in the comments down below. But this is the Hold That Thought podcast, episode 19, man. We did it. So I'll see you guys next time on whatever we'll be recording next. So goodbye.